Hey guys, I'm Siphokuhle Booi and welcome to AfroHub, an African Indigenous Knowledge Hub. So we're still under the segment of purpose and alignment in African spirituality. In this segment, we'll be speaking to different artists, talking about singers, dancers, painters. We'll be exploring their journeys on their way to their art and what the different meanings are. And the whole point that we are doing this, it's so that we can see that there is actual purpose and alignment in African spirituality. And also we're able to see the relevance of African spirituality to today's youth. Because every time we hear about African spirituality, we think about something that happened a long time ago. So I thought that it would be so beautiful for us to see everyday people that have been through different experiences, that have had out of the physical experiences, things that actually happened to them, and people that are actually living this in their everyday lives. This is in hopes that not only do you only see the relevance of African spirituality, but so that you can also be able to see when you have different happenings in your life. So yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get into it. So today I am joined by Miss Buhlebendalo Mda. Welcome to AfroHub, Sisi.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So those of you who do know her, Mrs. Buhle was a female band member in The Soil. I think that's where we met you, and that's where we've known you for like your beautiful melodic voice from The Soil. Yeah. But if we had to ask you about Buhlebendalo, who is Buhlebendalo, apart from Buhlebendalo being from The Soil?
This question is always tricky for me because I feel like I'm a lot of people because I carry a lot of spirits with me, and I'm a different person at different times. But if I'm forced to answer that question, I am a person who is for the people. I am an artist, I'm an all-round artist, really. My artistry is not boxed. I'm a philanthropist. I'm an activist. I'm a channel. I am a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a lover. I'm a queen.
Yeah.
I'm a king also. I think the word channel would best describe me because I feel like I don't live for me. So I'm that person that is ophatisiweyo, and or nikezwe iziphiwo ezininzi ukuthi azisebenzise eluntwini. So that is the person that I am. I'm the bridge between human beings and their journeys, including myself. Yeah.
That's beautiful. If singathetha ngo Buhle ekhula, so we understand bana xa sithetha about umntu osetyenziswayo or a channel, like you explained, ayonto iveste nje ivuke.
Yeah.
Or like all of a sudden, like we see namhlanje whereby umntu acima i-trend kubone, because already sesibona by Africanism yavuka and into ekhoyo. So all of a sudden sonke sibone ubuhle like, wow, this is cool, nami ndifuna ingubo enje. Unxibe ntoni? Oh, unxibe zona, ithi nami ndiyongena. So ubuhle usuka phi? Ukhulele phi? We're trying to trace ba isuka phi into anayo namhlanje.
Ukhulele ebantwini. I was born in Soweto. Parts of my childhood have Eastern Cape, Port Elizabeth, came back to Soweto, lived in different parts of Soweto. I think you can call me Mtana Sekas. You know, I'm the child of the soil, excuse the pun. I'm the child of the soil, you know. Ubuhle uphume enhluphekweni. Ubuhle uphume bunzimeni. But I yonto that will determine ubuhle in the future, you know. Dikhulele ekhayeni, fortunately elinomama nobaba. Dikhulele bunzimeni ekhayeni, you know, like an ordinary home in Soweto where it has ingxaki zazo, you know. Not in a very rosy background. But I feel like everything that happened in my past has shaped the woman that I am today. So, dikhule kakuhle. I think inhlupheko most times siyipha amandla to a point where sifila ngathi yinto ezasibuyisela umva elifeni, you know. But I glorify inhlupheko yam because I know what inhlupheko is today. That is why I won't find myself back there. And this is not me saying I'm wealthy or I'm rich or whatever, but I'm saying Guti, my past shaped me so much, and everything back then that felt like a setback is a lesson when I look at it today. So I'm from the hood. I'm from Edastini as a Snake Park, Nkulele Snake Park, Soweto, Nkulele Dobsenville. And then life started getting better when I moved to Protea Glen, where I started using an indoor toilet, something that was new to me, you know. That is when life started looking a bit better than it was growing up, you know. So I grew up in different backgrounds zaselokishini, from the dusty streets zakwaZakhele to Dobsonville to Snake Park to Protea, you know. So, and all these past locations or homes have shaped the person that I am today. So, yeah, I'm the child of the soil.
The soil.
Yeah.
And then zazikhona signs zokuba, like, did you ever know where you'd be where you are namhlanje as a child?
Ngikhule ngumntana ophapayo, ophapha kakhulu, like opapha isidina. I think even now some people still see me like that. That child tends to come out hands sisketi.
Yes.
You know, so ngikhule ngumntana or very opinionated, hands sisketi. Ngikhule ngumntana on I grew up saying I don't have a shy bone in my body. But as I'm growing older, I am becoming the very opposite of what I thought I was.
Yeah.
And dinama personalities amaninzi. And it caused ndinabantu abaninzi, ndithwele abantu abaninzi, you know. But as a child growing up elokishini, you always see yourself there. It's mandatory for umntana selokishini. Like, akekho umntana selokishini ofuna ukuphelela elokishini. Angeke ufike elokishini uthi, like, where do you see yourself? Besathi no, mase ngikhula ngizothatha ngizoba nendlu lapha ekhoneni. No, we don't see that. Like, siyazibona establishment eziphezulu, indawo ezifana nalezi, like having offices like this, you know, and being in spaces that will make our life prosper kancane, you know. So I always saw myself as Brenda Fassie, because she was, back then, I think if you're born in the 80s, everybody wanted to be Brenda Fassie.
Yeah.
I think I was the first one in line who wanted to be Brenda Fassie, you know, and who wanted to live like Brenda Fassie, because she was a very beautiful mirror to the youth, you know. And I always saw myself entertaining people, You know, I always jonga like ndiyapapa, you know, but ngoku ndikhulile I can adjust to papa kwam, and I think papa kwam nako is the very same thing that brought me where I am today, and I owe all of this to that little child that didn't fear anything when it came to expressing themselves however they wanted to. Yeah.
Wawuyazi ba ke ngoku you'd be a channel?
No.
Like uyiqale nini uyibona ba no man ikhona into ngam?
I can't say ba dibone nini like a specific time in my life.
Okay.
But there's always signs, you know, and growing up you're like, Haibu, what's happening, you know? Ndifuna your driver. Ndifuna your youth. Youth. Like, what is this thing of hearing things that are not heard by other children and seeing stuff that I do, you know, like.
Yeah.
But I think it was during my teenage years when I started being very expressive when it comes to stuff that's in my head, and I started joining poetry movements and almost became a Rastafarian and just, you know, wanting to be a deep sister and whatever, you know. But I always felt different from other kids. I always felt like I'm very strange. Back then, some people said, maybe it's like depression and whatnot. Because that's the first thing when you go to medical doctors that they tell you, no, you are suffering from depression.
Tell like
stress. Yeah, I mean, feeling and seeing it as needs, what is this, you know? And as a child growing up in an environment of abuse, now we are still about, no, I think I'm thinking a lot about situation at home, you know? Maybe I'm acting out and what, you know? But I've always seen myself as a different child. And as I grew older, I wanted to investigate that until I found out, wow, this is actually not a burden, but a very beautiful gift that I have to embrace and share with the world. And music was there.
Yes,
it was like, hi, do you want to share those thoughts? That's me. Hi, let's do it. And
yeah. So now Buhlebendalo is starting to have all these dreams and visions that she doesn't understand. Did you ever have anyone like ukwazi ukuthi like ukomperisha or like umuntu ozokwazi ukulekelela kule nto uhamba kuyo?
Dude, I was a teenager. I didn't even care to, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think now
so
when you look back at your teenage years, like, that's a stage where you just want to enjoy your life. You just want to be at school with your friends and enjoying your life, you know? But I was blessed, I still am, to be in a home that is very traditional and isintu siyahlonitshwa ekhaya, you know, amasiko nezithethe ziyahlonitshwa ekhaya, and all of this came ekhayeni where they can actually sit down and explain things to me, you know, and I was like, but why me, dude? Like, you know. But as we went along, as I grew older, I understood Uguti, it's not a burden, but you're chosen to be that vessel, you know, of hope and a vessel of healing. So I started embracing it when I entered my 20s and started to have more time to myself and sit with myself and talk to God and talk to myself, really, you know, write myself love letters and stuff to just gauge where I am spiritually. Then, yeah, I'm in my 30s now, and my life is not, I'm not saying my life is great, but I'm at an understanding of self. Yeah.
So would you say, mhlawumbe, that's what spirituality mostly entails? Like it was so important for you in your 20s, and to understand yourself, and then you went through the journey.
I had a conversation with a group of friends is all. What spirituality is broad, and you can't pinpoint Uguti. This is spirituality. We don't have like a guideline of what spirituality is, because it's an internal job, and it's a different job. It's a different journey for different people.
Yeah.
So another person can describe it in ngendlela, but for me, spirituality is that connection onayo with whomever, whatever you think holds you afloat as umuntu. Whatever you think wakes you up in the morning, and you believe and you have faith in that power. Power le engabonwa ngamehlo. You know, some people believe in money. You know, people can have a spiritual relationship with money. You know, whatever keeps you afloat is your faith, and your faith is your spirituality. Spirituality is the relationship between wena nalento okanye nalomuntu okanye nalomoya oziva ngathi nguwo ophezu kwakho. Some people believe in themselves, you know.
Yeah.
So you can have a spiritual relationship with self also, you know. But at the end of the day, I think everyone needs to have something they believe in, and create a conversation with that whatever holds them up, you know. So it's a work in progress, and it's something that needs cultivation, and it's something that needs continuous willingness to receive and surrender to what you cannot change, but you can actually learn to live with, you know, and be able to stay alive, really.
Yeah.
That's if you want to stay alive also. Yeah.
I mean, I think, Nagum, I think that's like the beauty of spirituality. I think I love the concept of a core guideline.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's like nanawe we can start like eqaleni, but indlela sizawuhamba azifani, and into wena uvumile uba mawuyenze kumi ngangavumeleki, and that's okay. So I feel like londo, like just that for me, I think that's super beautiful, and it makes you focus on your own journey.
Yeah.
Like kunzima for you to look at someone else, because it's like, this is yours, so continue with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that. So the time, like, business poetry stations, like, why African? Because now it's like, wuko Pan-African is like, ibisukapi, would you say, Londo? I mean, even Noctula, you could have sang, like, I don't know, R&B. You could have chosen to express yourself in another way. So you don't be like African.
Music is all I know. Africa is all I know. I mean, you can't sing about stuff that you don't know, really. You can't tell stories about things that you don't know. You know, I also struggle writing in English even today. I sound different. I sound detached when I sing in English, you know. That's all I knew, really. That is all I was drawn to. And music is music. I still do love R&B, but the only way I could actually feel myself ndingenelela within the music, because music is a feeling also, you know. Music is a feeling that just takes over your mind, and the only way that you can allow music to do that is by letting go of self, your physical self, and surrender to music, you know. And the only way I can do that is by singing in my mother tongue, by expressing myself even in the voice and the articulation of what is home, because that's all I know really, you know, and that's how I want to be remembered. That's how I want to be known out there. That's what I want to do really.
To just be yourself.
To just be myself, because I can't be anyone else, because ndizawuhamba nami ndilahleke ndihluleke and ndixakwe, and now I won't be able to see my way back to self. So it was not like a conscious decision really. It was just doing what I know. Yeah.
And then take me from Buhlebendalo was singing with the soil. Everything was fine. I think the soil was doing pretty well. And then the journey now to Buhlebendalo going to uXhosa, what was that like? I mean, you were singing, you had your singing career, you were there.